Well, every story has an end. Every story has an ending. And it's no different in this case. I told people it was going to happen one day. So, yeah, listen, I'm not surprised, man. Not surprised. But anyway, let me sit down and chat to you guys about this. Here we go. So, what's going on, people? Welcome back to my channel. You know the face, you know the name. Aaron here, back again with another, I was going to say match reaction, but it's not a match reaction. This is a very random video. I was actually, I was just in bed chilling, trying to watch Netflix because I was thinking, okay, this is a calm Tuesday night. But then my phone started to bzz, 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 and I seen the quotes, Let me come a bit forward a little bit so you can see me properly. There we go. I seen the quotes and I was like, oh, it's like that. All right, cool. Well, I need to talk about it. So you've seen the title, you've seen the thumbnail. Marcus Rashford will be leaving Manchester United, and I think he's pretty much confirmed it with them quotes. Before we go any further though, if you want to support this channel, like, share, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff. So yeah, reports have been coming out for the past week or so. I would say that Man United are actively trying to get, I'm not going to say get rid, but they're actively trying to sell Marcus Rashford. Now, a lot of people have been saying that they don't believe it. It's just rumors. It's not true. Maybe it's because he's not on form, and maybe those leaks are coming up again, and those rumors and reports are coming up, because usually when Rashford has a dip in form, then reports start to come up. But this time, I actually believed them. I was one of the few that actually, I said it to myself, I said it makes sense because a new gaffer's come in. Rashford's been getting hooked early into games now, The last time he played was against Victoria Pilsen in the Europa League, and he got hooked in the 54th minute. That's very early. You might as well have been hooked at halftime, because that's the same thing to me. Getting hooked in the 54th minute is the same thing as getting hooked at halftime. So you saw little indications like that, that made me, or I saw indications like that made me believe that the time's up. And if you guys watch my video back from, when I went to Rio Ferdinand Studios last year, actually no, it was earlier this year, in March, April. Shout out to my brother Joel Bayer. We sat down, me, Joel Bayer, my guy Hassan, it's your boy Haz, and the brother from the 90s Baby Show. Please forgive me, I forgot his name. We sat down and we talked about, a keep or sell, Manchester United edition. And when it came to Marcus Rashford, I said the following thing.
Marcus Rashford.
Every love story has an end.
What?
Whoa.
Every love story has an end.
Academy boy Marcus Rashford.
Every love story has an end.
Where does he go?
Don't know.
I would take him. I can't lie. I'll still take him.
You take him?
Yeah.
I think
It's not happening, but
He's not happening, but
Would you?
he's still a player, man.
Yeah. The funny thing is, I think if he goes to another team, he'll realise.
Yeah, he'll shell it.
Because you see someone like him, think about it, even before the start of last season when he played really well, and he was in the gym, working hard after that injury, because that injury he had was like serious.
Yeah.
Like, he's working hard. I think if he's in a team where he knows, okay, look, it's not going to be easy for me here. Let's just say at PSG, he knows he's going to have to buck up, bro. And players sometimes players like that, they want competition. When I say they want competition, they want to show to players that I am that guy. And I think even in this PSG team, he will have to prove himself.
Yeah,
I think in the Man United team, bro, like we spoke about, you know, even the top guys, the Varane and Casemiro's, they look tired themselves. So why should he really care? But when you're in those other teams, you're thinking, oh, I've got to show who I am.
No,
I don't think he's got that at the
And
moment.
he won't be able to get away with what he does, like that walking and stuff. Under Klopp,
Don't even
imagine.
think.
And especially with the United fans who really care about that stuff, you know, running and tracking back. And do you know what I mean? When you do that, the United fans are
He
starting.
knows he's always gonna start. Like, no
And-
matter, like you guys, who's gonna come in?
He's
for it?
he's
Garnacho.
been he's been in a comfort zone for nearly a decade as well now, and he's been put in a position where he's got a bumper deal last season, and almost everything he does gets championed. So in his mind, he's thinking, well, if I do this, well, I'm just gonna get the plaudits. And like I mentioned in previous show, Ten Hag has created an environment specifically for him, where when he does something that's not acceptable, he just has to say sorry and it's all forgotten. Came later, to a meeting, got dropped against Wolves last season, came on, scored, rightfully so, fair enough. This season, went out against Man City after we lost, got punished, said sorry, back in the first team, starting the next game. Then the whole Belfast thing happened when he went on 2 nights out, whatever, came back, said sorry, started the next game, scored against Wolves, again, ironically. So in his mind, he's thinking, I can do whatever I want
Get away with it.
and I can get away with it. And I think for him, because I want this for him, there's a player in there and I want him to go somewhere else in a new environment where he's going to have to prove himself, like Joe said, where he can show to the world that he can be a good football player. Because right now at Manchester United, I don't think he's turning 27 this year. Like the years are flying. You're not getting any younger.
Again, you know.
Do you know what I mean? And like really,
18 making his
Yeah, I
debut.
remember
It's crazy.
18.
we all
Goals
remember
against us.
there you go, and he's turning 27. Like Rio said, he's not a kid no more. We can't be babying him and like that. Do you know what I mean? And I want him, because right now, if England goes to the Euros, can you say with certainty that Rashford starts? No.
Impossible.
Yeah.
Impossible.
But wouldn't that hurt you though? Imagine,
Rashford
let's
not
just say he
starting.
goes to Arsenal or something, just start shelling it.
It
I-
would,
I think
but
it- I
I
think
would,
it'll
I would,
happen.
I
You
would,
would feel pain,
but I'd be
you know,
happy
wouldn't
for him because I know there's a player in there. I just don't think the motivation's there. I don't think the hunger is there anymore. That hunger that he had when he was a 19-year-old kid coming on, scoring on almost every debut, it's not there anymore. And bear in mind, this is an opinion that I've had for, I would say, probably 2-3 years. Even when Rashford had that season where he scored an incredible amount of goals, I think it was 30 all competitions, and I didn't really like the way people painted that whole picture when people were saying, oh, he scored 30, like he scored 30 in the league. No, you have to be specific. It was 17 in the league, and the other goals were spread across other competitions and other cup competitions. So I didn't really like the way people painted it, you know, to make it, they tried to make Rashford be something he was not. But obviously that 30 goal a season was good for him. But ever since, man, apart from that season, actually, it's not even ever since. Apart from that season, it was a bit of a disappointing career, let's say, a disappointing Manchester United career. If we just have a look, or if I just have a look at his stats at Man United, yeah, and let's just keep it maybe in the league. Yeah, let's just keep it to the Premier League because that's his bread and butter. You look at the numbers in the Premier League, yeah, and I'm trying to make sure I get everything here. Started in 15-16, 11 Premier League games, 5 goals. 2016-17, 32 Premier League games, 5 goals. 2017-2018, 35 Premier League games, 7 goals. 2018-2019, 33 games in the Premier League, 10 goals. 2019-2020, 31 Premier League games, 17 goals. 2020-2021, 37 Premier League games, 11 goals. 2021-2022, 25 Premier League games, 4 goals. 2022-2023, 35 Premier League games, 17 goals. 2023-2024, 33 Premier League games, 7 goals. And so far, in 15 Premier League games this season, 2024-2025, 15 Premier League games, 4 goals. So he's only scored 10 plus goals in, let me see. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 seasons out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is his 10th season at Manchester United, and Rashford has failed to score 10 plus goals on more than 5 occasions. I mean, in more than 5 seasons. He's only done it 4 times. 4 seasons out of 10, he scored more than 10 plus goals in the Premier League. And if we have to keep it a buck here, and I'm trying to be as respectful as I can be, if we purely have to keep it football and we put the off the field stuff aside, we put the off the field shenanigans aside, which, and I'm somebody who doesn't really agree with the off field shenanigans. Live your life, do whatever you want to do. But there's certain things, in my opinion, you just don't do. But who am I to judge? Anyway, if we just purely keep it to the football, it's been nowhere near good enough from Marcus Rashford. And I have conversations with people, and I often hear this argument that, yeah, but he's a local lad. Well, that's an even bigger reason to highlight these things, because if anything, yeah, being a local lad, you should know, you more than anyone in this team should know what it feels like to play for this club. Do you know what I mean? And I would arguably say, and I know he's gone now, but I would arguably say that somebody like Scott McTominay knew or felt more what it meant to play for Man United than Marcus Rashford at times. Somebody who, in my opinion, I've said this as well, and I've said this in the video as well when I was with Joe Bayer and the rest of the Mandem in the Rio studios. I said, if there's anyone that should be our captain right now, it should have been Marcus Rashford. Rashford should have been our captain, our leader. Rashford should have been the guy, when things get sticky, the way things got sticky under Ten Hag and stuff like that, especially before, I didn't want to mention his name, but I did it. But anyway, when things got sticky under the previous manager and, we were losing games and we weren't playing well and stuff like that, Rashford should have been the one we could turn to and go, yo, Marcus, Wagwan, can you help us? Do you know what I mean? He should have been the one to drag us out of the mud. We were in the mud, and as a local lad, somebody who's been at the club since the age of 8, he should have been the one to go, give me the ball, let me solve this. Give me the ball, let me fix this. Do you know what I mean? But instead, the performances have been beyond poor. And I'm sorry to say it like that. And I purposely have to do it because I'm a football fan first, and before I'm a United fan. And I have to put my emotions aside and look at it purely from a footballing perspective and say, it's been nowhere near good enough. Personally, I think there's certain things that got given to him too quickly without him actually proving that he deserved these things. And this is going to come across harsh. Some people are going to watch this and say, who's this guy? What is he talking about? I'm just keeping it a buck. I'm putting my emotions aside. Yes, there have been moments where Rashford showed his class. There have been moments where Rashford showed his talent. But like I said, in 10 years at Manchester United, I can't pinpoint one thing that Rashford has improved on. You know how sometimes you see a young player coming through the ranks, make his debut, and listen, those debuts, we'll never forget them. That's going to be ingrained in Manchester United history. But there's like I said, there's not one thing that I can pinpoint, or two for that matter, where I can say Rashford's improved on this, he's improved on this, he's improved on this. If you don't believe me, as you're watching this video, just answer these questions. Just say, listen to me ask you these questions, and just say yes or no, quickly. Do you think Marcus Rashford has improved on his right foot finishing? Do you think Marcus Rashford has improved on his left foot finishing? Do you think Marcus Rashford has improved on his heading abilities? Do you think Marcus Rashford has improved on his movement? Do you think Marcus Rashford has mastered the art of finishing, being a forward? Do you think Marcus Rashford is decisive, has improved on his decisiveness? Do you think Marcus Rashford has improved on his free kick taking abilities? Since that infamous free kick against Chelsea, away from home, do you think Marcus Rashford has improved on that? Mentality-wise, do you think Marcus Rashford has improved? Answer these questions just to yourself quickly. Just say yes or no, yeah? If you have to murmur it, just murmur it. And see how many questions you said yes to, or see how many questions you've answered yes to. If you've answered these questions to yourself, and more than half of these questions you answered no to, you know what time it is. You know what time it is. And I've heard something on the stream the other day, and I can't remember who it was. It must have been Rans, and shout out to my guy Rans. He said, actually, it might have been DG, my guy Deluded Guna. They were talking about Rashford, and Deluded said something that stuck with me ever since I watched that stream. He said, since that penalty incident at the Euros 2021, Marcus Rashford missed a penalty, Jadon Sancho missed a penalty, and Bukayo Saka missed a penalty. Look at their trajectories. Look at their careers. Saka is in a different league to Rashford. I have to, and this is me just being honest. Saka has improved on so many things. His dribbling, the fundamentals, his decisiveness. Saka has become decisive. How many games, have you not, how many Arsenal games have you not watched? And you check the score after the game, you take your phone, you check the score, and you see Bukayo Saka. How many times have you seen that? How many seasons have you seen that? Now let's take it to Rashford. How many times have you seen that? Probably a lot of times during that one season. Yes, fair enough. But how many seasons in a row have you seen that? There's been a stagnation for years. And I have to say it, and again, I have to be honest and completely blunt. We've been rewarding that mediocrity, and we've been rewarding somebody for stagnating. He had one amazing season, boom, we rewarded him with a new contract. And ever since, it's been downhill. It's been downhill, bro. You know, you look at some of his peers, and this is something I said years ago. I said, one day we're going to wake up. Rashford's going to be 28, 29. Obviously, he's 27 now. He's turning 25, I think, in October 2025. I said, one day we're going to wake up. Rashford's 28, 29. No Premier League. And only the trophies that he's got, which is like 2 Carabao Cups, 2 FA Cups, and 1 Europa League, if I'm not wrong. Please correct me in the comments if I am. It's sad. It's really, really sad. Rashford should have been regarded as one of the best players in the world, but he's not. And that's due, and again, keeping it purely to football, that's due to a lack of application, a lack of hunger. Okay, off the field stuff, in my opinion, played a part, but if we're keeping it to football, he's not improved, bro. The numbers have not been good. And a lot of times people have been complaining, why is he not playing? Why is he not starting games? What has he done to warrant those starts? Because last season he got rewarded for, not playing well, having stinkers here and there, but still getting rewarded. So, and one thing you have to know about footballers, they will take the mick. They will take the mick. Do you not think that footballers look at their performances and go, nah, I've not played well today, man. I've not played well today. They know it, but when you know you're starting the next game. So I'm sorry to be a party pooper, but it had to happen. I have to put my emotions aside and think about the betterment of Manchester United. And right now, for both parties, it's best for Marcus Rashford to leave. And I'm saying for both parties because Amorim clearly doesn't know what to do with him anymore. And he said it. He literally said it. We've tried it with Rashford. Now we have to try something different. Tried him in the, on the left wing. Didn't work. Tried him on the right wing. Didn't work. Tried him as a striker. Didn't work. Tried him in one of the 10s. Didn't work. So what do you want him to do? What do you want him to do? Mix that with the lack of application, lack of hunger. Do you know what I mean? So, and for him as well, he needs to find that spark again. If he goes somewhere else, and we'll get into the quotes in a minute because I've talked a lot. If he goes somewhere else, I believe he can find that spark again. I just don't think that it's going to happen at Man United. Unfortunately not. And, some people they're going to feel emotional about it, but it's football. Van Gaal came in, had to get rid of an academy product like Danny Welbeck. It happens. Mourinho came in. He got rid of Wayne Rooney, bro. He got rid of Wayne Rooney. So I don't think losing Marcus Rashford is going to be the end of the world, in my opinion. I think with him pretty much confirming himself that he's leaving, somebody else or other players, 2-3 other players might be able to come in and make a difference because we need that. For too long, it's not been good. It's not been good enough. So, it's had to come to this, but it's football. You get me? It's football. Now we're gonna get into the quotes. Um, 1 second. Oh, there's another quote that just came in. Lack of professionalism. I do feel misunderstood, but I'm fine with it. That's what Marcus Rashford says. Well, I don't know. The performances on the pitch say otherwise, man. I'm really sorry about that. But yeah, let's get into the quotes, man. Let's get into the quotes. So the first one being Marcus Rashford says, and he was talking to Henry Winter, by the way. It's disheartening to be left out of a. Nope, that's not the first quote. This is the first quote. Marcus Rashford, when asked if he's staying or leaving, for me personally, I think I'm ready for a new challenge and the new steps. No, I've read it wrong. For me personally, I think I'm ready for a new challenge and the next steps. All of his words were prefaced with respect for the club, which has been his home for almost 20 years. When I leave, it's going to be no hard feelings. You're not going to have any negative comments from me about Manchester United. That's me as a person. If I know that a situation is already bad, I'm not going to make it worse. I've seen how other players have left in the past, and I don't want to be that person. When I leave, I'll make a statement, and it will be from me, from the heart, as he'll always be a Red. Yes, 100%, 100%. I do feel like the timing of it is a bit weird because some people, like I said, some people don't or didn't believe the quotes. So they were like, oh no, Rashford's still staying. So you coming out and pretty much confirming your exit when we've got hell of important games coming up. One, bad timing, but that's not the first time Rashford came out with statements and bad timing, you know. And two, you're pretty much disqualifying yourself from the squad. Like the last game that Marcus Rashford may have played for Man United, in my opinion, could have been the game against Victoria Pilsen. That could have been the last game ever that he played for the club. And now with you coming out saying this, you pretty much, put yourself to the sidelines even more after being left out of the squad. It's disheartening to be left out of a derby, but it's happened. We won the game, so let's move on. It's disappointing, but I'm also someone, as I've got older, I can deal with setbacks. What am I going to do about it? Sit there and cry about it, or do my best the next time I'm available? Again, I don't think and again, there's probably nothing wrong with saying that, with doing that interview, because he's pretty much accepted his fate, and he's acknowledging that, okay, my time's up. But again, the timing, timing's everything in life. He says, I'm halfway through my career. I don't expect my peak to be now. To be fair, I think we've seen the peak of him already, if I'm honest. I've had 9 years so far in the Premier League, and that's taught me a lot. That's helped me grow as a player and as a person. So I don't have any regrets from the last 9 years. I won't have any regrets going forward because I take things day by day, and sometimes bad things happen, sometimes good things happen. I just try to keep a fine balance. The best is yet to come, 100%. That's my mentality. And that's it, really. Yeah. Those are the only quotes that I can think of that I can see. Anyway, if you see any more quotes online, then yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much it, man. My overall feeling about this is it had to happen. It was time. And like I said in that little snippet that you saw, every love story has an ending. And this is the end of Man United's love story with Marcus Rashford. A lot of people are going to be sad about it. I have to look forward and think about the team. I think about the bigger picture, and I think about, how this team can be successful. Now, in order for this team to be successful, and I did say it multiple times, if you want to get back to the top, unfortunately, you can't do that with people like Marcus Rashford. Purely, again, from a footballing standpoint, if you want to get back to the top with Man United, you can't do it with Marcus Rashford. And there's a whole lot of more players in that squad. Don't get me wrong, not just him. Bruno Fernandes is in that boat. Luke Shaw is in that boat. A lot more players, but it has to start somewhere. It has to start somewhere. And like Amarim said, he needs to change and shift the culture. Too many times, managers have come in and adhered to the tantrums being thrown by players. They've adhered to the the complaints of the players or certain figures in the dressing room, and it looks like Marcus Rashford was one of them. You know, we keep talking about, yes, managers left and managers this and managers that, but he's been one of the players that's been there for time. So at some point, or at what point are we going to look at you and say, okay, but do you play your part? Are you playing your part? Do you play your part? And what have you done wrong? Yes, managers, and some of them have gone rightfully so. Some have rightfully been sacked. But what about you? That's what I'm asking myself. So I think I've said everything I've had to say, man. I don't know if I'm rambling on too much, but yeah, man. Listen, you know what to do, people. Like, share, comment, subscribe. It's the end of Manchester United and Marcus Rashford. Take care. God bless. Have a good week, and I'll see you soon. Peace. It's the end, man. It's the end, baby.